Hello everyone, welcome back to the series of tutorials on C++. I am Deepak Unyal and in this tutorial I am going to discuss about initializer list. So if you have seen my previous lecture, you might be remembering that we discussed initializer list a bit. But in this tutorial I am going to discuss this thing in detail. So what is initializer list? This is used to initialize data members of a class. So that thing we have seen in previous tutorial also. Let's create a class name point, and this point has two variables which we can say that we have coordinates int x and y. This class has some public member functions and one of them is constructor. So this constructor is accepting two variables int I equal to 0 and int j equal to 0. So 0 are the default values here, and now we are using initializer list x bracket I comma y bracket j, and then you can close this parenthesis here. So here this is the initializer list. Okay, so this thing is same as, you can also write point int I equal to 0, int j equal to 0, and then x equal to I and y equal to j. Clear? So you can see here that this was not necessary here to use initializer list. You can either use this thing or use this thing, but sometimes it is must to use initializer list, right? So what are those cases where using initializer list is must? So first is, so if you have some non-static const data members, we need to initialize those things using initializer list. Without using initializer list, you can't initialize that kind of variables. Second, initialization of reference variables. So if you want to initialize these reference variable, you have to use initializer list. So let's take an example to understand these two things. Suppose we have a class, maybe test class, and then we have a variable const int t. So this is actually non-static constant data member. So when you create constructor for this, it will be test, and if you are getting a t variable in the argument, here it is must to use initializer list to assign this variable like this. So what you can do, you can try implementing this example using initializer list and without initializer list, and in that way you will find out that this thing is necessary here. Clear? Similarly, you can have some data members here which are reference variable. Suppose int ampersand y, and you have a constructor which is like this test, then you are getting int ampersand y. So for this variable also you have to use y bracket y, right? So initializer list is must here. If you don't do this, you will get some error. So try implementing this also and you will understand this clearly. Other than this, in third case, initializer list is must when we want to initialize member objects which do not have default constructor. So what exactly this means? Suppose an object A of class A is a data member. This thing is data member of another class B, right? And A don't have any default constructor. So in this case, initializer list must be used to initialize this variable, right? So let's write an example for this. Suppose we have a class A and then we have a variable I. Here you have a constructor which is A and accepting integer, argument may be I. So in this case we have to write this I equal to I, or you can use initializer list. So this is class A, right? After that we have class B, and in class B we have a data member A which is object of A class. Then we have some public member functions, and one of them is constructor itself. Inside that we are getting some input int x. So here if you want to initialize this I variable, you have to use initializer list like this, a and x, right? And you can write anything here. So even in this case, using initializer list is must. You can call and you can implement all these things using a driver program, where you are creating object of b like this, b, small b, and then pass some value here, maybe 200. Clear? So what will happen in this case, this function will be called, and now we are using this to initialize a, and this should be done like this. Clear? So you can try implementing these examples. Similar to this third point, there is a fourth point which is related to inheritance that we have not studied yet, but still you can get an idea. So like this point third, parameterized constructor of the base class can only be initialized or can only be called using initializer list. Clear? So suppose you have a base class A and then you have a derived class B, and suppose it has a parameterized constructor and you want to call this, then you have to use initializer list here. Clear? So it could be like B and then you are inheriting A. Clear? So you have to use some constructor if you have, maybe you are passing x, something like this. Clear? So you will understand all these things when we will study inheritance, but as of now you should have an idea that you can call the base constructor, and that is specifically parameterized constructor using initializer list. And there is a fifth point which is most basic thing, and we have known this from the first step when we started this, and that is when constructor's parameter name is same as data member. So you know this thing, right? So let us suppose there is a class and this is constructor a here, and we have got x, and there is same variable which is int x in the class. Then you can do like this, or you can also use this pointer, so you can do anything. Clear? And the final and most important point is that we are doing all these things for performance reasons, right? So it's better to initialize all the class variable in the initializer list instead of assigning these inside a body. Clear? So I will not explain this thing right now, but somewhere in the future we'll cover this thing. Till then you can try to write your answers in the comment if you have any clarity in this, and if you want to tell any examples or any clarification about this. Okay, so I think this is enough for this lecture. If you have any doubt or query regarding any of these things, you can write in the comment and I will surely respond back. So see you in the next video with some new concept. Till then, thank you so much.